All right, Sam. So just 2 days ago, we already recorded a video on the fourth week of Johnny Depp-Amber Heard trial. But since then, I watched some videos and, well, I guess we have to talk about it. Because, man, like, I watched some of her testimony. I watched a lot of Emily Baker, what she was saying. And there's one particular thing that she describes that this one, I didn't pick it up, Emily Baker. I saw it myself. And this just cannot be the case. Anyway, my main thing is that what she's describing and stuff. I mean, the amount of physical violence that she's gone through is just so much more than anything I thought she was going to be describing. So of course we have to then talk about, is it true or not, or how is she going to support them? But I'm honestly just shocked at whatever it is that she's saying, let alone whether it's true or not. I don't know what you think of that, but some of the violence that she's describing is nuts.
I completely agree. I like to, we can, I think, start with a comment we had, and I
Yeah.
like to defend I can't believe a week into my career as a law correspondent, I'm being attacked by so-called fans online.
But yeah, I think this comment also shares my sentiment. But yeah, not about your work. Sorry, not about your legal work.
This is
my bad. No, that was a bad timing. I should have.
This is like the mastering. You and Bobby hate me.
I'm joking. I meant his questions were kind of the ones that were going through my head. And people, please make sure to like and subscribe. But yeah, maybe read parts of the comment. Go ahead.
No. He said Sam's second day as a law correspondent was not as his debut, which I agree. I had more content. What do you want?
Yeah, that was maybe my bad.
Be kind. Yeah.
I forced the segment on you.
No, but he goes on to say that he thinks that Amber scored some like relatively big points that day, but I don't think so, because I listened to Emily D. Baker and she was quite. I mean, she tries to be as even-handed as a legal person can be, but she was very negative on the fact that she not only her stories were increasingly unbelievable because she kept like adding to it. Apparently that's how Emily Baker sort of categorized it. So I would say that I still think her stories are not really believable at all. Again, she's the worst actress on earth.
Yeah,
really.
I mean, listen, Emily Baker, yesterday I listened to like pretty much almost half of her podcast, and she's not buying any of it. Like, she's like straight up not buying anything that Amber Heard is saying. And Bobby in the comment, though, he's being honest. I mean, he said he's seen some clips here and there, and it makes you think twice about the case. And yeah, I mean, when you hear her describing the stuff, some, if they're true, are insane, but then the other ones become so exaggerated that you can't really believe any of them. But if they're the case, she should be using much harsher words. I mean, the one that really caught my attention, and I'm like, there's no way that this can be true. And I had sent you a screenshot of it. So she's talking about how Johnny Depp is screaming in her ear, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. And then she says, and then he starts pounding the back of my head. Okay, pounding the back of my head. Like I told you, I mean, that one caught my attention because in MMA and boxing, for instance, you're not allowed to hit the back of the head. The back of the head, I think, is perceived as being, particularly much more like sensitive and can much more damage, right? I mean, in these sports, sometimes they have nonsensical rules that just come from myth, but this one seems to make a bit of sense. So she's getting pounded in the back of the head. I mean, some of the stuff that she described, she should have been to the hospital a bunch of times. Like, it should be unavoidable. It should, like, some of the physical violence that she experienced, hospital trip can't come down to her being, oh, maybe I can't, maybe I'm embarrassed, or having any doubts. Like, they should be unavoidable. I mean, based on the things that she was saying, and then the bottles and glasses and all this that Emily Baker focused on. I mean, those are unbelievable too, but this particular one really caught my attention.
Emily Baker also mentions a case in which she says she was like pushed or something, and then she tripped, like, going back and then tripped, and then her back of the head hit a low height brick wall, and then Emily Baker is not like us, so she's like very even-handed. She was like, yeah, that's what she says. It does again. Yeah, I don't know anything about like, but from very little I know, like temp. I remember reading always like in movies or in TV and stuff. Temp like apparently you can like kill someone by punching them in the back of the head or in a temple because sensitive or something. So yes, so and then the hair thing that Emily Baker mentions, the fact that
Yeah.
she shows a clump of hair at some point in a picture, but then she says there was like hair all around the house or something like that. I mean, as you say, yes, some of the stories are just extremely just unbelievable. But I like, by the way, the court is coming back in 10 days almost,
Yeah.
like on 16th or something. Some of the one person kindly left a comment, said that. And I must say, what the hell? Like,
Oh, I know
you
what's
can't just
going
come
on.
into, no, you can't just come into someone's life, emotionally kidnap them, and then no, oh, we're gonna get a 10-day break. What is this? What the hell? Like, man, I don't. Some of us don't have actual real life. Okay, this is what we count on for like substance. Like to like, if this is not there, you know,
Things
suicide rate and all that will go up.
No,
So this is not right. I don't believe. I don't think judges. What the fuck? Why are they getting a 10-day break? What
and
is
nobody
this?
asked us if we're okay with the 10-day break. But yeah, apparently he's going to like a conference, the judge. So he's gone for
Is that it? Is that the
yeah.
reason? Is that
Yeah.
not?
Apparently.
I've been very kind to that judge, but this is ridiculous. Reschedule. This is so important. Like,
No, yeah,
but
apparently going to conference. But
the thing you say and Emily Baker, and that's two things. First of all, I think the British court system really, because Legal Eagle was this amazing video where
yeah, I
he
watched
explains what is the exact legal sort of obligation that plaintiff has in the UK and in the US, and what are the differences. And according to him, the UK legal system, based on like they decided that on like 12, was it, or 14 incidents, it was more probable that what's his name, Johnny Depp, actually um, physically harmed Amber Heard. That's why they didn't
Mhm.
allow for the defamation of the, the defamation wasn't successful,
Yeah.
right? And some of those incidents, or at least the ones are discussed, and in the court trial so far, like the one with the punching, the poop. I poop incident is one, but anyway, what the hell is going on with the, like, you like, who's the judge, or was it the jury? What the hell? I forget if Legal Eagle said that, but what the fuck? Like, how? What kind of idiot is like running around, you know I think they should do they should have a, you know like a minimum, like you intelligence test or something if you're going to be on the jury. I don't know, like,
So what you're saying
eh,
that the judge or I
the
think it was a
jury.
judge, but yeah, they were very like incompetent in the UK. Is that what you're
Yes.
saying? No question and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
perhaps.
how
I mean, I
could
don't
you
know.
believe her? Like, what are you, 5? My nephew finds like soap operas, comedies, so you know uh
Man, like it's
I don't.
just
I
yeah.
mean, this is ridiculous. And her acting, from some of the videos, at least from the position from the UK stuff, is pretty terrible. Like, you know,
Yeah, I mean, the parts that really go from from Johnny Depp, just like I'm sure he was acting crazy and stuff, right? From like the finger and stuff during that relationship they both were and all this. But whenever she transitioned to like the stories about how he was violent towards her, that's where she really, yeah. I mean,
no, no,
she really
the
needs something to show these. And are there
yeah,
sorry, you can just let me know after you finish that point, but are there like, I know there are a few like not hospital, but she has like a few medical things to back these claims, but for most of them she doesn't, right? And I mean, some of them it sounds like she took horrible beatings, like the eye thing and stuff like that, that comes from a single punch pretty much. If Johnny Depp would have hit her just once, she should have had, the black eye on all this, but what she's describing goes far further than that.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, no, my point wasn't just that, maybe he was like in one case abusive, but finding him abusive in all 14 cases or 12 cases,
Yeah, I got
I
you.
mean, gee, like you have to be pretty, like, I mean, it seems a very biased decision. That was my point. On the whole, yeah, medical stuff, yeah, she lacks that's actually, again, Emily Baker points that out, that, for example, you say you had a broken nose before going on a James Corden, and I went and I watched her interview with James Corden and all that, and she had the busted lip and all that. And I know, makeup is magic in Hollywood and all that, but it's not, quite literally magic.
Yeah.
It's like some of it is done through lighting. It's not like, and then as Emily Baker says, like, nobody saw that. Where is her team? Where are her?
Yeah.
It seems very odd, her medical stuff, lack of medical. And
Yeah.
again, yeah, like, the events she's describing. And then I had some other point about the legal system in general I wanted to make.
Okay,
but
so we'll
I'll
get to
make
that because
at the end.
I have a related point right now, I guess. But yeah, just the amount of abuse and everything that she's describing is like the worst case of domestic violence possible, I guess, which is kind of making it a bit, that story where she tells with all the
Somebody
glasses
attempted
flying. Yeah, attempted murder at times, like seriously.
And
a repeated
rape, for sure.
and rape. With the bottle story is like rape.
That's rape.
Yeah.
Cavity searches story,
And
that's pretty,
and
I would
back of the head like that exactly can be considered attempted murder. If you're getting pounded it continuously like this, the back of the head. I mean, don't want to laugh about it, it's insane. But yeah, some of the worst things. And then she has this thing that I picked up. I don't know if you picked up on this. She constantly couldn't feel anything. So she constantly like has this, they always say that because of the adrenaline, I couldn't feel this or that. But fighters say drink boxing and MMA, but not to the extent of her. Anytime she's in these, she really can't feel anything. But at the same time, she keeps on talking about
remember most
and can't remember. So she was always in this shock of like adrenaline, like, which I mean, I guess if they were to that extent, but even then you'd feel some of the pain a few seconds later, a few moments after. But at the same time, she also keeps on saying, but I could feel his arm here and I could feel his arm there. And like Johnny was like right next to me, like I could feel it, like I had my eyes closed. I don't know if you picked up on that, but she always was also like these moments where she didn't know exactly what Johnny was doing, but she was kind of saying, my body would tell me. So very interesting use of feel. At the same time, she often didn't feel some of this horrible stuff. And other times she did, like her feet, she said, were completely cut up. Well, yeah, she said she had major cuts on her feet because, he was throwing the bottles. But then Emily Baker points out that nobody's saying that the next day that she had any kind of limp or anything if her feet are cut off that bad. I mean, I never, honestly, I didn't expect until she took the stand that she was gonna, it's gonna be this kind of insane allegations.
I had known about some of them, I guess, so I wasn't surprised. But yeah, I think she's not helping her case at all. But yeah, I mean,
unless they prove, at least they start proving some of them, unless they surprise us again, right?
As somebody said at this point, I think it was some channel emergency or something. At this point, they have to show a 8K video of him like punching her in the face or something, because not even like a 4K or like 1080. It's like, because it's just ridiculous.
Unfortunately,
yeah. But,
unfortunately, because the stuff that she's describing, like
why unfortunately? I mean, I don't
because
know.
I mean, like if such a thing had taken place in that
but
sense,
it clearly hasn't. It's the most. I mean,
it
if
seems like it. I mean,
this is. I mean, again,
they just don't add up. They just don't. I mean, it's just. It's way too much beating. Like, it's not even laughable. But like I'm saying, like there's no way you could avoid going to the hospital if some of this stuff, like repeatedly.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Excuse me about. Sorry. So, You know, she reminds me of. You haven't seen. Oh, we talked about it on our channel. If anybody, check that video out, because that's a very video close to my heart. We talked about Iraj Pezeshkzad, the writer of Daija Napoleon.
Oh
And
yeah.
Daija Napoleon is just such an endearing book in Iran. It's like the equivalent of, I would say, like it's a Iranian Anna Karenina, or Russian sort of a dark comedy type thing. But sort of, because everybody has sort of that sort of a character, a great uncle or a great grandpa or something, that is always like, yes, I remember I was fighting the Russians in the mountains, and then they threw a grenade, and you're like, Grandpa, are you sure there was grenades weren't invented like then? No, I'm sure it was a grenade. And then they brought their F-16s. Russians didn't have F-16s. It was like Americans. Don't shut up. I'm telling you a story. Okay, shut the fuck up. She reminds me of these people that they exaggerate so much their war. Yeah, I remember we were fighting the British. There was 5 of us, 3,000 British. They had of everybody else in the town except me and my cousin, and then we had to surrender at that. Like, the exaggeration to the level that you're like, come on. And besides the exaggeration, I personally, maybe that's just again, thank your judges or anything, but I don't like people who have been through tough things and all that. Nobody's this dramatic about stuff.
I mean, Emily Baker again, our only real reference here that we kind of have. She kept on saying, and legal eagle, or the legal young, you said? Legal eagle. But yeah, I mean, she keeps on saying that, this is just an outlier, this testimony, and she's never seen like acting in this way. And, usually victims of sexual violence or sexual abuse, she hasn't seen them acting this way. I mean, of course, this is her personal experience, having worked in this field for nearly 2 decades. Maybe another expert will come and say, oh no, I've seen this. So, I mean, that's a bit of a subjective take, but yeah.
No, it's Harvey Dent. It's real life Harvey Dent. Nobody should doubt her analysis. No, but no, I'm joking.
Yeah,
of course. But I would say I've never seen anybody on a court or somebody like I've seen actually people do that, but exactly. In my experience, in my real life experience, they were people who I could not trust. That nobody goes, don't make me do this, especially in a court or something.
Yeah, right.
What is this? This is not a.
I mean, you don't know. I don't know. I mean, like sometimes when
only
you see
Bollywood.
Like a mother, like her kid, like it's like shot or something during a protest or something, and like at that time, in that moment, they have that kind of reaction that she has.
I mean, you can tell.
I mean, then again, if what she's saying is true, then I guess it makes sense. But I mean, if she literally like went through like the stuff that she was describing, she went through like a war, like for 2 years, or like she was pretty much went through like the worst of the worst that you can possibly describe for 2 years. But I mean, the problem is that a lot of people are poking holes into it.
Yes, yeah. No, I would say, I don't know, man. I think when you see videos of real hysteria, for example, when men or women completely lose control of their emotions, it does come across as completely different than this. In all the, this is just, I don't know, in my experience again, and stuff.
I mean, I'm just trying to not get too much into like the body kind of reading for myself, as if my as if my opinion here counts as a jury. But I'm just trying, not to get into too much of that, and more trying to like look at the story stuff. I agree otherwise that the way that she's behaving looks outrageous. But
another great channel I found out about because of this thing was there's this channel called The Body Language Guy or something. He's this guy who's, I think he's American, like Hispanic. And man, he has the most like a Spanish accent, and he's so cool. He's like, okay, now my name is Juan Gonzalez. Now we're going to Amber Heard testimony. Yeah, it's so funny, man. All I can think about is, I don't think you know this, but there's this British show, Fast Show. And they used to do this. Actually, the guy in the Fast Show is a close friend of Johnny Depp. But yeah, they used to do this bit where they made fun of like Latin sort of soap operas and stuff. I just remember, Amber Heard is clearly flying here because of, it's just, I'm having so much fun.
Have you come
And
up?
by the way, I have a
Have
huge
you?
accent, so this is good fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Have you come across any legal experts defending what she's saying and all that?
That's what, by the way, I think last time I said it was Law and Court TV, but I made a mistake. There is a Law and Crime Network, which, by the way, what a fantastic name for a channel, Law and Crime Network. I wonder what does the crime part. It's like, yeah, we hang. It's like is that the like League of Doom? Is that where Lex Luthor and stuff? That's their channel, Law and Crime Network. There's another one, Court TV. On Court TV, sometimes they have somebody who's barely like, yeah, I don't know, maybe, man. You never, it's kind of like you. It's exactly like you. It's very rare, but they have like, there's just one lady they bring in sometimes, but then they have like 3 other ladies who you can see on the Zoom call. They're like, can I go now? You, how can you say this?
You see, the expert comes, the expert comes, they're like, well, if it's true, then it's bad. You're like, well, do you think it's true or not? That's why we've invited you here. Thank you for that. If not, they would have me. I would come there and be like, listen, if what you're saying is true, then it's bad.
Man, because they have nothing to add. They're all like, it's lie. Like everybody, like they had this great, like again, they had this great, and I think again, I'm not sure if it was on Court TV or Law and Crime Network, but it was on one of those, and she was great. She was like saying, again at the end there, she's like, and they're like, okay, what if she's, telling the truth? I guess it's possible. So it's almost like, it's like,
I mean, even the mainstream media defenses that we've read about her, they're all like
pathetic,
and they're also theoretical. They're like, haven't heard her story, let's see. But I mean, if in the midst of all this, she just creates for the jury, like at the very least, she establishes that, listen, if I'm half lying or not, there was still some abuse that went on, like I was hit and all this. Therefore, I did not lie. Now, okay, fine. I hit him too, and all that, but I did not lie. I mean, Johnny Depp, again, at least this is all getting televised, so his career could still improve a lot. But I mean,
Legal Eagle actually pointed that out, and that was, good to know that, even, and I think Emily Baker points that out a couple of times as well, even if one case out of all the cases of abuse have been proved, that's what I mean about the UK court, that if the decision in court was that it is probable that among these number of accusations, one is true, I can completely understand that. And frankly, I'm not a big fan of defamation lawsuits usually, but this case is a quite extreme one. But then, even if in one case you can prove it, then it's not defaming because it was true once. But I think in her case, because of the ACLU emails and shit, they can prove, or at least they can, I think, make a reasonable case for malice. They can make it, because in the US, you have to prove that the person wrote it knowingly lied, and knowingly lied with a malice, with an intention to, financial gain and shit. So, I think again, this is like the level of income, Chapo Trap House guys always talk about this, that everything is degenerating, and evil has and we're going to talk about another Cawthorn, which another Felix says is a degeneration of like politics at its best in many ways. But evil has degenerated into this pathetic, this is ridiculous. Like she has, I can't believe it, that again there's email, there's paper trail, there is all these tapes, and she's so bad at presenting her case. I can't, with all the money she had, couldn't they practice with the, I don't get it. I don't get it, really.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I know we have some comments we could get to. You
There's
wanted
some
one
comments.
final point I had is that I also found out that the jury apparently are not allowed to talk to each other yet. So like these people come and like sit next to each other every day, and
Really? I
apparently,
thought they
yeah.
can.
No, I don't think they can talk to each other or anything until the trial is over and they've received the instructions. So if that is the case, it must be so awkward. You know, sometimes when you
Yeah,
get in the
that's
room and you
awful.
know someone, you want to make the eye contact, say
And
the hello at least.
no man. And can you these people can't talk to anybody else and watch any
Apparently,
like
maybe I'm
this is
wrong,
like
folks,
watching
but
the greatest TV show on earth and not being able to discuss like theories and trivia. And did you know like this is
the jury
these
is going to bring
people
a class action lawsuit against Johnny
that's
Depp and
why
Amber Heard for not letting them.
for emotional blackmail. Yeah. No, and this is not. Yeah, that's why they make so many wrong decisions. They're basically being like, this is like trauma. This is going like
Yeah, maybe I
going.
misheard,
But
but I'm
before
pretty
going,
sure that's what I heard, that they're not even allowed to talk between each other for now until they get those instructions at the very end.
before we go to the comments, I just had this thing about the legal systems,
Mm-hmm.
both in UK and US. Man, I don't in the UK, the judge or the jury or both, they decided that in many cases, Johnny Depp probably did these things. Some of which, as you said, are attempted murder, rape, that type of thing. Isn't there no public defender or anything? Don't you, if some judge says that this is very likely that somebody did that, then don't you have to go to a criminal court? Like, we forget about like a
Yeah,
private plaintiff saying that he did that. Is that what's the point
like
of
state
public
prosecutor, you
defenders?
mean?
Yeah, district
Yeah,
attorneys, I don't know, prosecutors. Like there is somebody who's going around raping people and beating people up. Like what the hell? If that's the
yeah,
case, shouldn't the government take action? Like I was so shocked that you be proven in a like a libel or defamation case that you're like potentially something, and then police is like, well, that's a defamation case, I
yeah.
guess we'll have to wait somebody. What the fuck is rapist get him or whatever, or what anyway, I
I'm
mean,
so
if
with
that's
you. I'm
the
so
case.
with you. I can't remember. I feel like I made a similar comment one of like the other day. I was like, wait, like if these allegations are flying around about something else, I forgot. But I often wonder the same thing with other cases. Like, yeah, I mean, much more here is coming out than I guess sexual abuse covers a whole lot, and sexual. She didn't say
No, they
sexual
came out. No, man.
harassment. They
Some
say.
of these stories came out in the British one as well.
Mhm. Yeah, so I
The
mean, I'm trying to
hitting.
say, like, does sexual abuse even reach or cover the scale of what she's saying? I guess generally
All
it
of it
does.
is sexual.
It's just whenever you reach these kind of points, exactly, people use the term rape, like almost like, could have led to manslaughter. Like, I mean,
I mean,
but
the
yeah, I mean, I
bottle
guess they
thing, man.
technically fall
That's
under
like
that. It's just the stories are actually far, far worse than anything she previously had, or however, like the story was
no,
kind
no,
of
man.
like
She had
yeah, to
previously.
this extent,
I don't
like
know if to this. That's the thing in her. No, no, to this extent, no.
yeah, I
But
mean,
she
I
had
guess
mentioned the
yeah,
bottle thing,
yeah,
like that the stuff before that she was. He used the bottle on her, but I don't know if she went into the details
yeah.
like this dramatic.
And
But
like
yeah, anyway, like
emotionally
if there's
though,
rapists, please, police or so,
yeah,
like, yeah, please. Not that, by the way, at the same time, though, I do believe, like, as Bill Burr says, I don't think legally they shouldn't release the name of people who are accused of these type of things until they're convicted, in my view,
yeah, I guess so. That I
because
mean,
it's such a,
yeah,
rape, sort of sexual stuff, and mm, it's man, even people who like people who commit murder, there's a couple of people, I think, you can come back from that if you were young and it was an incident,
yeah,
but like that shit, you don't come back, and rightly, by the way, rightly so, you don't come back from this if it's proven
yeah,
beyond the reasonable doubt.
yeah, no, 100%. But yeah, and there's
I mean, I'm very much, I think Mike Tyson, didn't he kill some? No, no, it's not Mike Tyson.
yeah,
Somebody like one of, oh, Snoop Dogg, I think, killed somebody or
no,
was
I don't
involved
think so.
with his bodyguard. something like yeah. Mark Wahlberg he blinded a man, I believe. But so I'm not saying people are beyond redemption. Not that I think Mark
Yeah.
Wahlberg is redeemed or good, but just that's something that I think rightly everybody is slightly more, not necessarily right, but people are very much, that's like everywhere in the world. I feel like you don't come back from that usually.
Yeah. I mean, again, he's lucky that it's being televised. If this wasn't being televised, like Johnny Depp wouldn't get anything out of it. But I mean, since it's being televised, he could come back. But
I think
and
he
yeah,
will definitely.
and the cross-examination. Let's see what happens. Cross-examination. I mean,
That's going to be
people.
the
I
most
think
fun part.
Bobby wrote that. Oh well, now they're taking 10 days off, so the jury will just stay with this story. But I don't think that's too much of an issue because they're going to come back and then the narrative will change anyway. And in fact, I mean, Emily Baker was saying that this is perfect for Johnny Depp's team. Now they have 10 days to rewatch all these testimonies by her and come back and, try to plug some holes into them.
Oh, by the way, do you remember we talked about the bit that they start high-fiving each other and
Yeah.
fist bumping and yeah, that part is somebody left a comment and then I Google. Apparently, Kate Moss used to date Johnny Depp, and then she mentions, as soon as I saw my sister like next to the stairs or something, I all I thought was Kate Moss, and then I jumped in. And by the way, the way she describes that bit, I mean, Jesus Christ, man! I've seen people working like goddamn social workers, and they do like that type of stuff, and nobody, like, again, nobody talked. As soon as I saw my sister, I was like, that thing came over me. Oh, fuck off. Anyway,
I mean, she's hitting all these, sorry to interrupt you, but she always
no,
like hits these kind of things that like, so either
movie
it
beats.
happened or like, yeah, she know about them that, you're kind of like, you're taking over during these periods. Like, you have no control of your body. Adrenaline is so high that you can even take pounding in the back of the head, you stop hearing yourself. So she always brings these kind of, she brings it into her
She's just,
storyline.
yeah, man, it's a movie. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, apparently Johnny Depp used to date Kate Moss. So like and I don't know if there was like a rumor or maybe some allegation that he may have pushed her at some point or something. And but according to, again, I think it was Court TV or Law and Crime Network, Kate Moss has described Johnny Depp as a perfect Southern gentleman, or something along those lines. So I think that's why they were super happy and like basically jumping around in their seats. So
I see.
yeah, that's seems to be the case.
I see. Yeah, no. So yeah, I mean, I think they're gonna probably like have a bunch of like holes to plug. But the other thing, is there is a chance that he was like at his worst in this relationship because it does seem like it was such a toxic relationship. Although it doesn't lead necessarily to the
And
crimes that
yeah,
she
the
says, but
language,
yeah, this was
the
probably
language.
Johnny Depp at his worst. Like his other partners have probably never seen um any of this, I'm guessing. I mean, some of it
Yeah,
some of it is not, like the finger and the painting and the text and all these are undeniable at this point, which at the very least showed that it was it was like 2 years of hell, their
I don't think
marriage.
the text, the finger thing was such a unique incident. You could say, yeah, it was unique to this case, but the text, a lot of people after breakup, and there are
But some
texts
were
of Johnny
early,
Depp
apparently. Early,
yeah,
like in
yeah,
the marriage too.
in their relationship.
And
Yeah,
was
and
this
there are
also Johnny
texts.
Depp's, sorry to interrupt you again, but was this also Johnny Depp's like worst like level when he came to like alcohol and drugs and all this? Like did
I
he
have I don't know, but from his testimony, it seems that in his younger days he may have had worse struggles. And according to his everybody who knows him, but they are all obviously his people, so
yeah.
take that with a grain of salt. He's always pretty under control when drinking, and actually, I wanted to talk about the coke thing, but you know oh, and there were that's what I wanted to say. There were texts that Johnny was also making very negative comments about his ex So, it wasn't just about Amber
Mhm.
Heard, that he used that language. So I really, who knows if this was his worst relationship or not, but in terms of physical abuse, it certainly seems so though. Like,
Mhm.
losing a part of your finger, punch in the face. Oh, by the way, a lot of people did ad lib, and I kind of, again, as a very complete layman, I can see why he says that, or why people may think that he and a lot of people say that the scars are Botox
Mm.
surgery marks. And I, as somebody who's been around a lot of people who've done Botox, yeah, it does look a lot like that too, And I must say, by the way, a lot of people tell me I should get Botox. Do you agree?
No.
On my forehead? No, because they say I do too much like this. Viewers, especially ladies, said, please tell me if should I do Botox? Do you think they say I like it? I'm gonna get like really bad. Anyway,
I don't
that's
think so, but sure, if you want
if
to
you're gonna comment,
waste your time, go
that's
ahead.
uh, it's you call beauty based of you want do you think this beautiful face is gonna stay like this forever? No.
Well,
Anyway,
if you don't mess with it, probably, but
if I
if you
don't do too
mess
much
with
Botox,
it, probably not.
I'm gonna next time I'm gonna show like this. Hi guys, teeth whiten. Yeah, but
But
yeah,
yeah, I
man.
mean, listen,
Who knows?
those pictures, the the bruising on her face and all that does not add up
The
with the
but
story that she said.
and
I
the
mean, it's
busted lip, man.
yeah.
So she says she has a busted lip. It's not more pictures in like one or two pictures. I think you see a slight red here, busted. You know what I mean? And there
Yeah.
is one
No, I'm
picture where
saying it
it's
should be
kind of like,
so much more.
and
That
then
should be nothing. That should be nothing. If the stuff that happened to her, I mean, the pictures must have been horrific and terrifying. And she recorded all these things, so she could have taken photos for herself. But yeah. No, can you hear me?
yeah,
Oh, you're back.
slowed you
Nice.
slowed down to a
Should we move on to
significantly.
these comments?
Man,
Oh, can you hear me? Go ahead.
sure, just before that, as you say, no, not only like some of the like if you've had a pounding to the back of your head, if you fell on a wall with the back of your head, that if yeah, this like you would have like brain damage for the rest of your life. Like
I mean, those are
and
things to
again,
not
if
to
this
like
is true,
joke
by the
about.
way,
Like you have to go
yeah,
to the
yeah, if
hospital for these kind of things because internal brain injury and all this are not like evident to to the naked eye. And I'm guessing the team around them at the very least had that one thing in mind is
and I
that
don't care how rich
yeah,
you are, they don't have an X-ray machine like
yeah,
outside of usually hospital. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like anyway, it's just yeah, very very interesting.
yeah. But okay, do you want to move on to some of these comments? Do you want to?
Yes, yes. I was watching because one of the funniest
These are
parts of
YouTube comments,
the
right? Sorry to interrupt you.
yeah. These are YouTube comments. One of the funniest things that I forgot about the appearance of second psychiatrist, Dr. Hughes. By the way, I didn't think it was as Amber really didn't like her.
Sorry, you got cut off
I
there for
thought
a
she was.
second. Sorry.
I mean, did I say Dr. Hughes?
Yeah.
Yeah, people really didn't like her. I thought she was okay, but most people were not at all fans.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was just probably doing what the lawyers told her to do. I heard was far worse. You know, that's the thing. During her examination by Amber Heard's lawyer, man, Amber Heard's lawyer twice, instead of saying Dr. Hughes, said Dr. Curry by accident. And man, that was so funny. It's clearly that, and that was the lawyer says that was partially because Dr. Curry was in the call, so she can't watch TV or anything, but she can't come to the court. So then man, I saw there's this like I love this Team Curry, Team Heard, like Team Depp versus Heard is being replaced by Team Curry because Team Heard. But I must say, no offense, I hope to ladies or anyone, uh, and she's married, so I hope this is not rude. Dr. Curry is extremely attractive, I would say. I think, and most people would say. So this is so funny, man. There's these comments like Dr. Curry should replace Amber in Aquaman 2. So stupid. Then there was another one. Yeah, Dr. Curry is highly intelligent, articulate, and gorgeous. If she doesn't want to play herself in a movie about this trial, maybe she could be convinced to play Amber. People are just loving her, basically. What was it? God damn, Dr. Curry is like a stone. She's top of her game and is completely confident in that she didn't give a reaction to Karen's outcry. Give that dub queen. So funny, man. I just
People
love that
loving
people
her.
are getting, including myself, people are getting so emotionally attached to this story. And like, oh, now we support her, we support this one. No, she goes against it. It's just, it's as always fun.
Really
What do you
seems
think?
so. No, definitely. I mean, I know Dr. Curry not as much as you, so but I also Dr. Curry too. Seen her quite a bit. She does seem pretty good, but I didn't watch
Yeah,
the whole testimony like you did and others. Seemed like those who did really were amazed by
very
her.
impressed.
Yeah, no, but no.
Yeah, I mean, again, Dr. Hughes, I don't think was too bad, but it was just, I feel like it was clearly a different lawyer's strategy. And just, I feel some of the, and again, yeah, of course, she's going to be like on Amber Heard's side. I mean, the whole way lawyers and Amber Heard designed the whole process of her evaluation, I'm sure, in a way that benefits her and all that. So, but I mean, I know some parts she did come across a bit Karenian. Like,
Yeah.
what do you want? Too much notes, too many looking at notes. I would
Yeah,
say.
she had her notes taken away, you said, right? Or
At some point, yeah.
yeah.
I don't know if taken away or just had to put it away or something. Yeah. And had to, like, she was told that she can't read from them. She can just look and then look up. Yeah.
I see. But this trial is gonna go on then for a while because all these people, I mean, she's not even Amber Heard is not even done testifying, right? I believe on Monday when they
No.
return in 10 days, she's gonna testify. Only then the Johnny Depp team is gonna start cross-examining her, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't. Yeah, yeah. Her testimony to her own lawyers is not even finished.
Yeah.
Probably, I'm not sure, but yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, the cross-examination of Amber Heard though is definitely gonna be the highlight
Yeah.
of the whole thing by far. I mean, Johnny Depp might be back. Apparently, they can recall him and all that. So that could be fun too. But I think the Amber Heard part is probably going to be the highlight. Cross-examination.
Yeah, and Emily Baker was saying that she thinks that Johnny Depp wasn't inconsistent, whereas she has a lot of inconsistencies. And the Johnny Depp team, if they come back and if they just get one or two moments, I think that really undermine Amber Heard's stories, then that could potentially be it. Like, just one
Yeah,
or
man.
two that really make her seem like a liar. That would put enough doubt, I think, in the jury's mind to be like, okay, I mean, if she lied about one or two, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess to be sure they have to try to address all the specific incidents that she mentions so that in every case they have proven that he has not abused. But I think based on the evidence already there and with one or two examples they can do it further, they can definitely prove that she's not a truthful person, and they can definitely prove intent for malice and certainly intent for financial gain. I mean, it's again it's unbelievable. The ACLU thing is just so unbelievable to me.
Yeah, that
Just,
too. Oh, anyway, I don't know if you have any final words. Mine, you just reminded me of this. And I mean, I don't expect her, of course, to write the article herself, but I went and read the Washington Post article. I mean, of course she didn't write it, and we know this because it had like all like the tricks and this, not the tricks, but all the nice styling thing that you see, high level people doing these articles, from like some paragraphs being longer, some being so short, the M dashes and N dashes everywhere to like introduce stuff, like one paragraph where it's just two sentences, another one so you can tell it was, and I mean we know this, but of course professionally written by media and PR people. I mean, unless she has like that kind of talent, which wouldn't really make sense because she doesn't get the
And by the way,
practice.
this is like done all the time,
Yeah, yeah, it's just
but I don't think you can, just because if you can use a ghostwriter and then put your name on the book or on the article, then you should be able to be sued for that. As the
yeah, no,
what
that's for
was
sure.
I think the legal term for it was adoption or as something like that. So yeah, I again, not that yeah, maybe if you have a ghostwriter do something, you should read it once before you put your name on it, whatever.